Okay, so it says functions that exhibit this kind of behavior where you can add or subtract something to the angle measure and the values of the sine and cosine function remain unchanged are called periodic functions, and in general are defined as follows. A function is called periodic if there's a positive number p such that whenever theta is in the domain of f, so that theta plus p and f of theta plus p equals f of theta. If you add p to it, it's still the same as if you had the original function. It's called the period of the function. It's the smallest number that you can add. Well, based on this, the period of sine is 2 pi, or 360. That's the smallest you can add to end up in the same place on the unit circle. And for tangent, the period is pi. Tangent of theta plus pi equals tangent of theta. And because they're reciprocals, period of cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So 2 pi, and pi. Cosecant of theta plus 2 pi equals cosecant of theta. Secant of theta plus 2 pi equals secant of theta. And cotangent of theta plus pi equals cotangent theta. So the only two that are pi instead of 2 pi are tangent and cotangent. So let me show you what kind of period problems we're going to do. Finding the exact values without a calculator. Sine of 390. Well, that's sine of 330 plus 360. That's the same thing as sine as 30. So you go on the unit circle. 30 is right here. It's over rad 3 over 2 up 1/2. So it's 1/2. So you have to memorize that unit circle. That's all you do. Here, this is in radians. Pi is equal to 4 pi over 4 because it's force. And we have 19 of them. So it's tangent of, well, if you multiply by 4, you get 16 pi over 4, which is 4 pi, which is a multiple of pi. So it's going to be 3 pi over 4 plus 16 pi over 4 is equal to tangent of 3 pi over 4. So you have to think, where's 3 pi over 4? Well, it's right here, and the tangent is -1. So it's equal to -1. Because it's rad 2 over 2 and negative rad 2 over 2. So you get -1. I gave you this paper, which summarizes what we talked about at the beginning. And we're going to do some more problems. We're going to do sine of 17 pi over 4. Sine of 17 pi over 4. So we're going to do, that's equal to sine of pi over 4 plus 16 pi over 4, which is 4 pi, which is a multiple of 2 pi, which is the period of the function. That's equal to sine of pi over 4. And you should know that the sine of pi over 4 is rad 2 over 2. D. Cosine of 5 pi equals cosine of pi plus 4 pi. You can subtract 4 pi away from 5 pi and get 1 pi. So it always has to be multiples of 2 pi for cosine and sine, and multiples of pi for tangent and cotangent. Cosine is right here, -1, 0, so it's -1. And then E, tangent of 5 pi over 4 equals tangent of pi over 4 plus pi is 4 pi over 4. pi is 4 pi over 4. Together that's 5 pi over 4, so that's equal to tangent of pi over 4. And pi over 4 is right here, rad 2 over 2, rad 2 over 2, so we get 1. So your homework, number 96, I have to type it up, and I'll post that. So you can do that by Friday morning at 10 a.m. for me. Okay, thank you.